Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. For my friends in Canada, happy Thanksgiving. This wasn't a planned episode or a live, but I was in my craft room making a Christmas card, and I thought, you know what, this might be something that my friends would like to know how to make. And then I realized that, it's not even 3 months to Christmas. It's like 2.5 months to Christmas. I might as well start showing the Christmas cards I make. So yeah, so if you're joining in, make sure you say hi. If you like this card and this tutorial, make sure you hit the little like button, leave a little comment. If you ever have any questions, just feel free to leave a question in the comment section. I'll get back to you. But yeah, this card, I love this card. It's so happy. It's a little bauble card. It's using PinkFresh Studio Product. And I'll show you the product that I used. Please don't be overwhelmed by the product that I used. Um, you can mix and match things in there, or just take out things that you don't like, or exchange, for example, a frame if you don't have this one. So for this card, I'm using the Floral Bauble set, and this is a stamp set. There's a die that goes with it. It's this one here. And then there's also stencils. I'm using this frame. This is a new frame from PinkFresh. This is dotted fancy frames. If you don't have this frame, just exchange it for something else. I've also made this card without using frames, and it looks really nice too. I'm also using the Snowflakes background, and again, if you don't have this, you could use another background or an embossing folder. For the banner here that says Joy to the World, what I'm using is the Basic Banners the Basic Banners Christmas stamp set, and then the coordinating die that goes with it. Let me tell you, this set is amazing. I made so many cards last year. You just run this through once, this stamp through once. It's one die cut, and this morning, for example, I ran a whole bunch through, so I have a lot of banners now for my holiday cards. And then on the inside of my card, I'll show you the inside. Sending a little holiday sparkle. And this is from the new stamp set. There's also a better pressed die too. This one is called Making Spirits Bright Sentiments. I did not use the die, just stamped it directly onto the card. So you don't need the die if you're going to follow this tutorial. Okay, so for my inks, I'm using several inks on this, and let me see what the inks are. They are Coral Reef, Passion Fruit, Berrylicious, Mint, and Meadow. I'm also using black. For this, I used the archival ink from Ranger. Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, I also used some pink cardstock for the background here, and Hammermill white cardstock for the base. I used a 65-pound cardstock for the background die, and also to make this frame here. Okay, so to save a little bit of time, I already have some things done. Like, for example, I have this already stamped out. And when I say I have this already stamped out, I have a lot of them already stamped out. I am using this set a lot on Christmas cards. So I made a whole stack of them, and yeah, so I am prepared to make some Christmas cards this year. Okay, so again, this was on Hammermill cardstock. That one feels a little funny. It's got something on the surface. Okay, I'll just grab this one. Okay, so I went ahead and stamped this. This is larger than 4.5 by, or 4.25 by 5.5, because the stamp is a little bit larger. So it's 5 by 6. That's what I cut this paper to. And so I went ahead and stamped it. Obviously, it's air dried. If you're going to do this, I would recommend just kind of using your heat tool and just kind of drying this a little bit before you start putting the ink on. So this way you don't smear any ink. So I'm just going to go ahead and tape this here. I don't have a grip mat, so I usually just tape my image, my stamped image, to my mat. Oh, and if you're wondering about this stamp, this is one stamp because here I'll show you. I should have explained that one. So this is one stamp, and it makes it easy because this is one die. So you're going to have 4 pieces cut out when you're done with this. Okay, so we're going to start with the lightest. Oh, and one last thing. This bauble set, you might recognize it. It's from last year. The frames are from this year. This die is from last year too. So I have a mix of old and new, for example. And if you're wondering where to get the bauble set, it's if you're in Canada, the Nick Nook has the entire set. That's the die, that's the stamp, that's the stencil set, and that's for $40.65 US. PinkFresh Studio, you can get the set on right now, and that's again the die, the stamp, and the stencils, and the entire set right now is $25 US. So if you're looking for that, as of today, today's October 14th, these are the prices. So you'll be able to find these. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Coral Reef. And that is this one here. This is stencil 1. And I'm just going to lay this out here. Make sure everything's lined up. Okay. So with this, I would go, as always, when I use a stencil, I go both ways. I go clockwise and I go counterclockwise. This is a very light color, but it's absolutely beautiful. I love Coral Reef. It is a pretty color. So right now I have all of the ink colors in from PinkFresh Studio, except for, I think it's the white, and I don't know if they have a black. If they have a black, I don't think I have it. Unless it's the licorice, then I do have it. Anyway, so I use some colors a lot, like for example, Coral Reef. And so I ended up buying a large pad, especially since I'm using, since I'm making a lot of these Christmas cards this year. Isn't that pretty? It's a beautiful light pink. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the passion fruit. So if you buy the cubes, the passion fruit and the Coral Reef are in the same cube pack. Oops. Okay, so with this, again, what I'm doing is I'm just taking my brush and I'm just lightly going counterclockwise and clockwise. It is so peaceful and just fulfilling doing the stencil. I just really like it. Plus, I'm not a good colorer. And my joke, and I'm sure you've heard it before if you've watched my lives, that's why I don't lipstick. That's why I don't wear lipstick, because I have a hard time staying in the lines when I color. So stencils, they make it quick. The results are stunning and easy, and you can make a whole bunch of Christmas cards at once. So the passion fruit's now done, so I'll set that one aside. It's looking pretty. This is super fast too. I love this. And so the last one is Berrylicious. Berrylicious. I love Berrylicious. It's just stunning. And I know I'm going to use Berrylicious a lot for my Christmas cards this year. Let's see, make sure I'm lined up, which I am, and then I just use a couple pieces of tape here. So I've got a smaller one here because you're not filling in a lot on this stencil. So I'm just going to slowly go over this here. There we go. Such a pretty color. It's a really great red. If you're looking for a good red for your stamping or for your Christmas cards or for your Valentine's Day cards or whatever needs red, this is a really good red. And it's very juicy. Like, you don't have to use a lot of it. And that's another reason why I like this one. It's yeah, it's a great color. So there's a lot of it on there, so I'm just going to wipe this off with my my cloth here. I don't want to leave too much on my stencil. So we're going to use Berrylicious again, so I'm definitely going to keep that one handy. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the colors. Okay, so next we're going to use Mint, and this is stencil 4 in the set. What I like about this bauble too is, like, if you have a, I don't know, a wedding to go to, that, you know, you could use this bauble for a wedding card. I'm not sure about the sprigs here, those 2 sprigs, since they have the berries on them. But I mean, if you want to, like if you did the berries in like a gold or something, you know, that would be a really nice wedding card. I was also thinking of trying this in blues just to see how the flowers looked in blue. So I think I'll probably do that after this video just to see how that looks. And because I think that would be, this bauble would be really nice in the blue. Yeah, so the mint is nice and light, but it's a really good green. Let's see, I'll put that aside. So now we're going to our last one. This is stencil 5, I believe. Oops, let me put that down there. Okay. Oh, away. Yep. Stencil 5. There we go. And there's not a lot of green, so I'm just going to use a smaller brush. This one's also from PinkFresh Studio. I really like their brushes. I have 1 pack of each size. Yeah, I find they're really nice. And again, I'm going backwards. I'm like counterclockwise and clockwise with it. And I'm making sure I'm getting into all the little bitty spots on there. There you go. So that is done. So I'm just going to set these stencils aside. I'm going to clean them after this tutorial. And remember when I said to keep the Berrylicious out? That's because we're going to use it to color our cardstock. And this cardstock is going to be used on our frame for the card. So I'm just going to set this aside. And I've got a plain piece. Oh, that's not plain. That's the card base. Just one second. My plain piece of cardstock. This is Hammermill. And what I'm doing is I am going to tape it from the underside. If you have a grip mat, you don't have to worry about it. So I'm using the Berrylicious. I've got a bigger brush. And I am just starting on the outside, and I'm going to slowly work my way in. I want to do the whole piece of paper here. Oh, by the way, this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Sorry about that. And I'm using the Berrylicious. Yep, I'm slowly getting darker on the outside. And it's okay if it's like a little splotchy here and there. Just try to smooth it in as much as you can. There we go. Smooth that in a little bit. Put a little bit more on this side, and then I think I will be done. Okay, that looks pretty good there. Yep, looks really good. Okay, so we're done with the Berrylicious and my brushes. So again, I'm putting those aside. And I'm just going to clean off my mat so that this way I don't get color on my card base or anywhere it's not supposed to go. I'm using isopropyl alcohol to clean my mat. I find it works really well. There we go. And then I'm just wiping this up here. You can also use isopropyl to clean your brushes too when you're done with them. Yeah, that's good. I got it all up. Yep, I did. Okay, so now I'm going to run this through using the die. And I realized when I was die cutting this morning, when I was die cutting all those banners with the sentiments in it, that my Gemini is starting to lose its pressure. So it looks like I'm now saving up for a new Gemini. So I might have to run this through twice if it doesn't work well the first time around. Let's see how that did. Oh yeah, I put a piece of paper in just as a shim, so it's good. So you can see here, it just popped out all 4 pieces that we're going to use today. So that's good. I'll just set that aside. So the next thing that we're die cutting is we're die cutting this paper here. This paper is going to be used to create the frames. So I am using this new frame set from PinkFresh Studio. Again, this one is dotted fancy frames. And so with this, I'm using the large outside and then the inner to do the die cut there. Whoops. And I'm centering in this one too. And I want to make sure it's centered because I'm using 3 frames for this card. And one of them, oh shoot, one of them is the negative between these two, the outer and the inner frame. Move that. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to use a little bit of tape just to tape that down. Oh shoot, I moved it. My hands are a little jittery. I think I had too much tea this morning. Let's see, does that look pretty even? It does. Okay, so I'm going to die cut this one. Oh, it just moved. Darn. Okay, we'll do this one more time here. Yeah, I'm going to add some tape on that corner and the other corner. Yeah, this dotted frame is so pretty. It's very ornate. There's a lot of little detail with it. It's a very pretty frame set. I love the curves to it too. Oops. Looks like I'm a little off on the paper. Just one second. I'm just going to go upside down like this. There we go. Okay, so we're going to cut this again, or cut this once. I cut it this morning, that's why I said it again. Okay, so let's see how that did. Isn't that pretty? So we can use this for another project. Like it's really beautiful. And so we have the outer frame and the inner frame. Hopefully that die cut well. Oh, it didn't. Shoot, I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife there. Yeah, that's a bummer. I didn't want to buy a new Gemini, but maybe I'll have to. It's definitely not the die because I've used it plenty of times before without issue. So luckily it's just a little piece here that needs to be cut. And here. Yeah, I did put a spacer in there too, but yeah, obviously I just added some paper just to kind of give it just a little bit more pressure, but obviously that did not work so well with this. I like my Gemini. It's a good little machine, so I'll probably pick up another one. Okay, so we're using this on the inside, and we might as well just do this one now because we're going to start adding things on top, and I don't want to smear anything on top or move anything that's on the top of the card. So what we're doing is on the inside, we're going to take this frame and just kind of glue it on there. And then we're going to stamp a sentiment right in here. And what we're using is this, it's sending a little sparkle. And there's a curve on the top, and it goes so well in there that I couldn't resist um, putting that on the inside. So, and using it with this frame. So that's the thing. It's like when you make Christmas cards, sometimes you like you have a sentiment or whatever on the front, but you're just like, I'd like to stamp something on the inside. What do I stamp on the inside? And sometimes you just don't have that, right? But with this, I think it's Making Spirits Bright set. You can use some of the sentiments on the inside, which is nice. It's it could be used on the inside or outside. And that will definitely aid in the card making too, like if you're making a whole bunch of them. Which in this case I will. I will be making quite a few of these cards. So see how it just fits in those curves really nice? It's quite lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to use some black ink. Just kind of get that on there. Sending a little holiday sparkle. And this is going to match well with the front of our card because there's going to be a little bit of sparkle on there. So there we go. See how that looks. Perfect. Love it. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside so it can dry. I'm going to wipe that off too so that I don't get any ink on my phone. I'll just use a baby wipe for that. Okay, so we're done with stamping. We're done with coloring. And so now we're just working on the layout. And yeah, so here we go. So with the card, I've already run this through. This is that snowflake background, but like I said, you could use an embossing folder. You could use another background. You could just keep it plain white if you want to. I mean, it's really up to you. I wanted to use this because, well, I really like this background, and it just adds a little bit more of a holiday feel to it. So that's why I used it. But PinkFresh, they have a lot of cover plates that can be used, and there's so many different embossing folders out there that you could use that, I mean, you don't have to stick with what I'm using. And so this is 4¼ by 5½. This is just a light pink. The pink is from the, I bought it from Michael's. It's one of those large packs of the 100 or 110-pound paper. I think the color set is Ballerina. All I know is that it's a whole bunch of pinks, and this pink worked really well with this background, so that's why I chose it. Okay, so next we're going to put down our frame. Oh, I just love how that looks on there. It's so pretty. It looks really good with the snowflake background. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this on. I'm using Nouveau glue. It has a smaller tip. It's not a pinpoint tip, but I find it works well for this frame. So I'm just going to put this on. And the good thing is that the way the snowflakes are lined up is that you can make sure that you're lined up, like there's a line of snowflakes right down the middle there, so you know if you're lined up well. And see, that's pretty good there. Okay. So I'm going to actually put this on the card front now. And make sure the card front's the right size. Just in case I cut it wrong. Yeah, it's a little too long. So I'm just gonna cut that really quick. Oh yeah, you can see it back there. Funny how when you use the scoreboard and the color is still a little bit off. So it doesn't ruin the inside of my card at all. Everything's still lined up well. Let's see how the front looks now. Yeah, I could trim just a little bit off of either side, just a hair off. Do the same on this side. This way it's even on the inside. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. So I could use a glue runner for this, like a tape runner, I mean, but I'm going to use glue since this is going to the edges of my card. I want to make sure that I can move this when I put it on my card base. So make sure that's up. Yep. I'm starting on the top, centering it on the top, and then working my way down. There we go. This way it's nice and centered, which it is now. And I'm going to put the inside frame in now. Okay, so we got that. And again, I'm using the line of snowflakes as my guide to make sure that I am centered on here really well, which I am. That is handy. Okay, so now I'm going to put the bauble on. And the bauble, I want this elevated just a little bit. So the bauble, I'm just looking at this right now to see how I want this bauble to be hung. And I think I like it like that. Well, yeah, like that. That looks good. So I'm just going to hold that into place. I'm going to take my glue again. And I'm just going to go under this. Actually, I'm just going to keep it like that. I'm going to put glue just at the top part or at the bottom part of my bow. I'm putting a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue there. And there we go. Okay, that looks centered on there, I think. Yep, that's centered. Okay, so now we're going to put some foam tape on. I'm using some scrapbook adhesives. And yeah, I'll use some up here too. I just, this is too wide to put on there, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut some here. So there we go. I'm going to push that down. What I like about their adhesives too is that the paper comes off quite easy on the back. There's some double-sided foam tape out there that I find you really got to go in with your nail or you get a needle or something to get the paper off, and you don't have to do that with them. Okay, just making sure that that's in the right orientation, and I'm going up to the very top there. So you can see that it's right down the middle, and you still get that the hoops from that inside frame that shows underneath there, and it's really pretty. So now we have some sprigs to put in. So we can put them here and here if we want to. Or on my sample, you can see I did it above there. So let's grab one of the banners, which I put somewhere. Oh my gosh, my desk is a mess. Okay. So we could go here with the joy to the world. We could even go there if we wanted to. How about we do that this time? How about we go right down there? So we can show it both ways. I think that would look nice too. It's your card. You can play around with however you want this to look, right? There's so many different ways that you can play with this, and so many different sentiments that you use. Like I'm using the banner die and stamp set because I have it, and yeah, I think it looks good with this. But then, there's so many other sentiments that could look really good with this, and why not try different things? Oh yeah, right there. Flat on, I don't know if I like it, but I might raise it a little bit. Like that would look really nice. I'm doing that. Okay. So this is going to be definitely a dimensional card, but it's going to look pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Gosh, I don't know which one I like better. I like both of them. Okay, so now I'm going to put some stickles on. I just want to highlight the berries and the flowers a little bit. So I'm going to put the stickles on the darker, on the red, the Berrylicious, and then also the that darker pink, the I think it's passion fruit, just to add a little bit of sparkle. There's a little bit right there, a little bit right there. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so last but definitely not least, I'm adding some gems. And I like adding gems to cards. I think it just kicks up a little bit. And I bought a whole bunch of gems from, what do you call it? Michael's. They were very inexpensive. I think there's 2,000 of these gems in a package. And I paid $10 for them. So that's a really good price. So I bought 2 sizes of this, and yeah, it's been working out well for me. I feel like I use them a lot, but I've probably only used, of the 2,000, maybe 150 or 200 so far. So this is going to last a while. Put that there. I might move that one down a little bit. Oops. Got sticky on my finger. So what do you think of this card? Which one do you like better? Do you like it with the joy to the world up there or down there? They're upside down. Let's see. So I'm just kind of putting it into just different areas, just to add a little bit of extra pretty. Yeah, that's lovely. Might put some on the inside too. Maybe right there. Move that one up a little bit. I'll put another one right there. And I think that'll be more than enough for this card. Yeah, that's lovely. I meant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's a good number. Okay, so we'll glue that down. Where's the glue here? did the same thing yesterday. I left the cap open. It's starting to dry a little bit. There we go. Put that one there. I think that might be the last one that I need to glue down. Oh, no, gotta glue that one down too. Oh no, that one's glued down. Okay, so there we go. Look at that card. This only took, I started at 11:45 my time, and 40 minutes to make this card. Isn't that pretty? And that's the inside too. So it's all glammed up on the outside. And look how pretty that is on the inside. Like, isn't that lovely? I really like this. Again, I don't know which one I like better. I think I'm going to make a whole bunch of them like this, maybe a whole bunch of them like that, because I think they're both pretty. And yeah, this is one of my favorite stamp sets from PinkFresh, and I just love it. It's so pretty. So, thank you for stopping by. I'll pull these up a little bit closer to the camera so you can see them. I really hope you like these cards. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or a question in the comment area. Or if you just like these, make sure you leave a little comment, and please hit the little like button. It really helps me out knowing what you guys like, and it gets this video out there so that more crafters can craft with us, and I would really appreciate that. But again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the like and the comment, and join in next Sunday for another junk journal type project. And during the weeks, during the weekdays, I'm going to be working on cards. So, and I'm going to try to get some more Christmas cards in. So this way, there are some ideas out there for Christmas. So thank you again. I hope you have a happy crafty day. Bye.